Hello, everyone. Welcome to IASP 221 Linux Administration. This is actually, I am trying to combine this first class uh, face-to-face and online together. Actually, I am recording my lecture and will this recording will be posted on the Blackboard so you can check out and follow and catch up. Um, This Blackboard is for the online, so you can find out, for example, the syllabus. If you click this, and then there is a click this, and then there is a syllabus. Click this, and then you may be able to see the syllabus. So I'm going to follow this syllabus in a minute. Meanwhile, I am also trying to give to you similar class but face to face. This is a MTA section. Similarly, you can find out the syllabus if you click this on your own class Blackboard, right? Online students need to come to online Blackboard, and face-to-face students can come to uh, its own Blackboard. So if you click this, then you can see the syllabus um, that you can find out. Um, This is the MTA sections. So a little bit different the context of the syllabus, but in general, they are very, very similar. Okay, particularly for the course schedules are the same. So what I am trying to do is to give to you the syllabus today. We're going to review two syllabi together. This is for the face-to-face class syllabus, and here this is for the online class. Okay, I am going to give you a point out uh, back and forth. If they are different, then I am going to point out. Okay, uh, yeah, both together. Office hours here, uh, Mondays, 11 to 12 p.m., 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., which is right after the Monday's Manhattan class. Okay, and Tuesday at the Westchester campus, Dobbsbury, Mayo Hall 112, which is typically the lab. Uh, we can call it cyber lab if you wish, or computer science lab or math lab, belonging to our department. So where that is another uh, office hours that you can catch me. Uh, uh, 12:45 from 12:45 p.m. to 1:45. But in any case, I want you to uh, a confirmation with me so that uh, I'll let you know that I'll uh, uh, absolutely available on that time at that on that place. Okay, so you and I meet together. So any of these uh, three different uh, office hours, you need to uh, make a confirmation with me. And on Wednesday, back to Manhattan campus from this is early in the morning, 10:30 to 11:30. Uh, Today, I'm not going to explain to you all detail because you can find out uh, details here, so you can read it. Particularly from this semester, according to the guidelines from the university, uh, I'm going to provide you micro credential opportunities, which is you can get by taking this course. If you want, you can do a little bit of extra work. Therefore, you can get the certificates. Okay, not only the course credits, but also certificates. Uh, the detailed the explanations will be available at the end of this syllabus. So we'll get there soon. There's no prerequisite for this, and course goal. Uh, I wanted to master the Linux administration skill sets. So that includes Linux operating systems command line skills. So you need to execute some of the programs available on your Linux operating systems. Um, a lot of tools available. Okay, so uh, build the Linux operating systems and basic Linux commands, manage files and process within Linux, and utilize Linux tools to combine features of some of uh, the file operations, figure and customize the Linux working environment, and also you will know enough about uh, some advanced uh, the skills, which is shell scripting uh, uh, the skills. This course can be aligned with the program uh, student learning outcomes. So program set up the student learning outcomes P01 and P05. Um, so this course will be able to meet those two the learning outcomes. The meetings. This syllabus is for the online. So online asynchronous. But for online students, uh, I want to meet you over Zoom. So I set up one Zoom sessions, which is second Monday of this course, February 2nd at 7 p.m. So I wanted to join the Zoom meetings where I can explain more about uh, this course, okay, online particularly. Meanwhile, for the face-to-face classroom, it is very simple, right? Mondays, we're going to meet at Bennett campus at 425, which is a cyber lab. So come uh, to the classrooms at that time. Textbook, there's no required textbooks, but if you want, I recommend this is a new versions, third edition, um, which is very good. So uh, this class covers most of the command discussed on this book and more than that. So a little bit of the overlays. Not all the commands described in this class will be discussed in this class, but more other because we are needs to prepare for administrative roles. This is how I can grade your homework assignments. Mandatory requirements for this class. Uh, Raspberry Pi, uh, yeah, you need to bring your laptop, right? Laptop is always. necessary for a computer-related course. In addition to that, a device, a Raspberry Pi, uh, with a Raspberry Pi OS, which is the Linux operating systems, one of distributors called the Debian distributors. Part of the Debian distributors of Linux operating systems is Raspberry Pi OS, which should be installed on your Raspberry Pi device. This device will be provided to you from the university, so you don't have to worry about, but only one device to one student. Um, we have had this kind of, uh, the, I mean, the Raspberry Pi based operating systems lecture for maybe about a year ago, since about a year ago. So 2 or 3 semesters. I am warning you, you have to uh, handle handle the Raspberry Pi OS very, very carefully. This is an electronic device. If it is broken, then and after that, if you want to get the second device, then you have to get it on your own expense, right? Uh, the university doesn't give you multiple times, only one time in your uh, the university stay. Okay, one time. One time means uh, over the course of semesters, or sometimes you may continue to study for your master's program. Yeah, throughout all the master's program. Then we, me, for example, I'm using Raspberry Pi's not only this class, but a few other classes also. So keep it, and then you can reuse it uh, for next time when any class requires you to use. Okay, so this is important. Assignment. This course gives you a lot of assignments, but this is important. Late submission is not allowed if you want to get full credits. Okay, so there is a 10% penalty per day. If you submit 10 days late, then although you submit it, you don't get any credits in mathematically, right? So that's what it is. So don't submit delay. Exam, 2 times of exams, okay? All in-class test. Same thing online, in-class test. In-class test. This is important, okay? So in-class test, for particularly for the online students, this should be met. Why in-class test is important? As I said, by completing this class, um, we'll give you the certificates, not only the course credit, but also certificates. So the exam needs to be fairly managed and proctored. I examined in many different ways. Sometimes I proctor, sometimes online exams. So online exam is really big problem because any of the 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 questions, if it is multiple choices, then you can get the answer very quickly from um, ChatGPT, for example. So it's not really fair. And in that way, assessment is not really accurate. Therefore, um, in-class test is a must. All right. I'll set up in-class test maybe not only one time, but maybe two different time slots, so you can come and take the exams. I know some of you are working, but if you plan earlier, so that you need to make yourself available for uh, the in-class exam. All right. So two times of exams, both uh, the face-to-face and online classes. Gradings scales, assignment 45%, and midterm 25%, the final 25%, and 5% participation. I think they are the same here. And I'll go all the way back to the schedule. So this is for today. And then next week, installation and configuration of OS. How can you get the Raspberry Pi? For um, the, the face-to-face class, hopefully I can bring it from Dots Ferry campus to Manhattan. So, so I can get you in class. For online students, you need to contact the department secretary, and which is not really good in that way, because that costs more, right? Mail. Uh, if you live, for example, uh, long distance away, uh, at least an hour drive away, then you can, I mean, department will send you the Raspberry Pi. Otherwise, you can come to the Dobbsbury campus and pick it up. Okay, I strongly recommend you to do that. When you pick it up, you need to sign up and then pick that up. So that will be on the second week. Um, so this is very important. If you do not have this, then it's very, very hard to move further, right? So yeah, this Raspberry Pi is a small device. By the way, I can show it to you. Raspberry from Amazon. The one that you would get is, I think, very similar to this, but this one, the SD card is similar to this, but I think a little bit lower than this price. It is a Kanakit. So let's see. We have Kanakit. Kanakit. Yeah, I think this is, yeah, 149, $150 each. So 4 GB RAM. SD card is 128. So 4 GB RAM is enough. All right. So that you need to pick up. If you are willing to buy on your own, you can buy it also. Uh, that'll be perfectly fine. So we'll follow this. Midterm exam is already set, so I want you to pick one of these. So Monday, uh, in class, this is our meeting time, or even Tuesday possible. Okay, and the final exam also either Monday or Tuesdays. Monday at Topsbury, Monday is Manhattan, and Tuesday Topsbury. Okay, so this is the same to both face-to-face and online students. All right. After that, this is micro-credential uh, certifications. So we set up 4 certifications. As you take this class, then you will receive all of these key topics. Okay, this class covers all of this, not only one credentials, but all of this. Okay, that is covered in this class. So by taking this course, uh, you will fulfill all the topics there. But hands-on um, is also we cover hands-on, all the hands-on here. Not only this hands-on, but more hands-on practices covers in the class. But we pick up those hands-on practice that fits on this particular credentials. For example, Linux System Foundations and Command Line Mastery. This is one certifications. The other certification is a Linux Networking Service Firewall Administration. And third one is Linux Security Hardening and Threat Detection credentials. And then lastly, Linux Web Server Administration and Security. Okay, so there is the topics and labs covered. But if you do this uh, well, then there is a one additional assessment. Okay, not only the homework assignments that you did on the classrooms, but this is additional. So we'll set up. I believe I didn't. The logistics. We may not do this during the semester. Probably we need to do this after the end of the spring semester, and I will set up the exam time, so assessment time, because you already fulfilled these two, right? Uh, Key topics and hands-on labs. So there is a uh, skill lab, so I can give you time, for example, within 1 hour or 2 hours. you have to do this. Okay, whatever that is. Right now, you do not fully understand what you need to do or whether you can do, but you will be able to do. And then there is a project. Project is not on a particular time, but I can give you project time limits. For example, a week. So in a week, you need to do that and then submit the project. Um, if you pass that certifications assessment, then and also fulfill the coursework where uh, a, uh, a multiple uh, skill topics and then practices, then you will receive the credentials. Linux Web Server Administration Security Specialist, Linux Security Administrator, and more others, right? So you can apply um, 0 micro credentials or 1 or as many as you can, or 4 of those. It's up to you guys. So how can you get that? So in class exams, both the midterm and final, you have to pass. You have to earn at least 75% of each. And then skill-based lab. Remember that here in the assessment, we have a lab on each micro credentials. So you have to achieve 75% completion, demonstrating required functionality and quality. Similarly, project over 75%. So classroom exams, lab, and project, three three components. So each should be over 75%, not average. Okay. Doesn't matter you have 100% to reach one particularly, the other maybe 50%, then average wise, that is a 75%, right? It's not going to be like that. 75% each of those. Okay. It is okay if you get 75% of this, 75% of this, 75% of this, perfectly fine. Or somebody says 95% of your exam and 95% of your lab project is, for example, 74, then you cannot get uh, the certificates. So it should be 75 at least. This is the first time that we uh, offer. So, by the way, this is not uh, finalized. This is not officially formally approved by the university, but university strongly uh, recommend us to create micro credentials certifications. So, so this course is very, very appropriate for that. All right. So this is about the syllabus. And then one last thing today is one short video clips. By the way, from the beginning of this semester, the first homework assignment will be given to you based upon this. So you have to make sure that you have to submit first homework assignments. So why it's not running? Hmm. Things should be wrong. Okay.
So you got a Raspberry Pi and now you need to know what to do. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to install Raspberry Pi OS on your brand new Raspberry Pi. Let's get into it. Alright everybody, like I said in the intro, we're going to install Raspberry Pi OS on our brand new Raspberry Pi. This is another video in my Raspberry Pi series, so make sure you're following that playlist. To do this, we need a few things. We need storage to put the operating system on. Most likely your Pi came with a micro SD card. You can use that. For this video, I'm going to use an NVMe drive from our friends over at Kingston. I'll put a link in the description below of where you can pick one of these up. What we're going to do is utilize this external drive caddy from Ugreen. This thing is pretty amazing. I put all my operating systems on one drive here and I can install pretty much anything on any device. So I'll put a link in the description below again where you can pick this up as well. Now if you're utilizing a micro SD card, you need to have a micro SD card reader that you can put the card into and then plug it into your computer, because that's how we're going to write an operating system to this device. Go ahead and take whatever storage you're going to use and plug it into your computer and then come on back. Now that you have your storage plugged into your computer, we need to download the Raspberry Pi Imager software. So what we got to do is head over to raspberrypi.com/software. I'll put a link in the description below, and you need to download the Raspberry Pi Imager for whatever operating system you're currently using on, the computer, whatever you have your storage plugged into. For me, it's Windows. So go ahead and download the version.
By the way, in my lecture,
right your computer,
I am
install it,
you
and then we'll get
all
into
of this,
how to write an operating system for the Raspberry Pi.
So don't worry about
to
this
our
at
storage.
this time. You simply
Here
watch
we have
and
our
get some
Raspberry Pi
idea.
Imager software open. At the time of this video, it's version 1.9.6, and you have a few options here. The first option is Raspberry Pi device. Choose your device. You don't have to actually do anything here. You can if you want. I'm doing it on a Pi 5. You can choose whatever device you're going to run on. I never choose anything here. I just leave it, blank. The operating system, this is where the fun happens. So there's all sorts of different options here. If you're going to do like a game emulation, operating system, you can choose game emulation, other specific stuff for like Office, etc. But for this example, we're going to put Raspberry Pi OS kind of like in server mode, if you will. So we're going to choose Raspberry Pi OS Other. And what we want to do is we want to do this top one here, this Raspberry Pi OS Lite 64-bit. And what this is going to install the Raspberry Pi OS, but without the GUI, without the graphical user interface. So it's going to be all like command line. If you want to do something that has a graphical user interface, you'll do this next one down full, which does the desktop environment and that you can run applications. You have the GUI. But for this example, since we're in a series here of doing kind of home labbing and stuff on this, I want to do everything command line. So I'm going to choose the Raspberry Pi OS Lite 64-bit. Next, we need to choose our storage. And the storage is going to be whatever we plug into our computer. Like I talked about, it's going to be either probably that micro SD card you plugged in, or for me, the NVMe drive.
By the way, micro SD card is
that you choose the correct drive. And
the reason is
this is going to wipe that drive clean.
Together. So you will receive
if there's anything on that drive, make sure you back it up first before you select this and write your operating system to it. So here, go ahead and choose the storage that we talked about. Mine is going to be that one, and then we'll click next. After you click next, you'll have this, do you want to apply any custom settings to the operating system? You can click no and just go forward if you want, but for this example, we're going to do edit settings. And we're going to set the host name. So whatever we're going to call this Raspberry Pi, give it whatever your name you want to call it, whatever it's going to be on your network. We're going to set a username and password. So for me, my username is Havoc. Type in whatever password you want there. If you want to configure wireless LAN, so if you want to have Wi-Fi enabled on this, you can check that and enable Wi-Fi connectivity on there. You can go down here, set your location settings, so your time zone, your keyboard layout. The biggest thing I want to stress here is on services. and you want to enable SSH. And the reason is we want to be able to SSH into this remotely. We want to be able to control this over our network via command line without having to plug in a keyboard and a monitor, etc. to it. So make sure you enable SSH, and you can do use password authentication, or if you work with public keys, you can do allow public key authentication only. So
By the way, this type of Raspberry Pi imager is only the necessary if you need to rebuild your operating systems on the new micro SD card. Remember that the kit that you receive already has the SD card, which is already installed. It has the Linux, particularly Raspberry Pi OS images already there. So you don't need to worry about these steps. But in general, not only this, but for other images that you want to run on your Raspberry Pi, um, for example, if you have 5 different micro SD card, one micro SD card is for Raspberry Pi OS, the other ones for the other operating systems. You can make as many different operating systems as you want, if you would, right? In the case you need to use this, but the one that you received already do not need this. But if you for some reason if you do not handle the SD card carefully, then it may corrupt the SD card itself. Then you have to redo this. If the SD card itself, the video itself is okay, then but only the what contains in that is the problem. If it is corrupted, then you can make it using through this Raspberry Pi image uh, program. You have to go through this. Otherwise, you don't need to. At first time, you skip this, and then you can come up here, right? Somewhere here. I would say somewhere, maybe here. Let's see.
fire it up, and we'll take a look at the next steps. So as you can see here, I have the Raspberry Pi booted up. It is plugged into the network, and I have it plugged into a capture card. That's why you're kind of seeing this capture stuff on the screen, just so I could show you what it looked like booting up. You could do it this way and plug in a keyboard and a monitor to the Raspberry Pi. Or what you could do is just plug it into your network and boot it up. And then what you'll do is you'll need to find the IP address. You'll need to go into your home router and find whatever address the router gave to your device. For my example here, you can see it's 50.169. I can also go into my router and see that's what it's giving me. So what we're going to do is I'm going to close this out, and we're going to SSH into it and do some updates on the operating system. It can be run. And now we're going to upgrade in there. I'm going to clear this out. And now we want to do some updates. So we're going to go sudo apt update.
This is the first thing that you have to do.
All the update packages.
By the way, the homework assignment, I asked you to do
upgrade.
this, right?
So we'll do sudo
apt update. This is the first command that you
because
have
I don't
to
want to
do.
hit yes every time. If you want to hit yes every time, you can
the
do
question
that.
in the first
so
homework assignment.
And then it's downloading and installing all the updates for the operating system. Once this is all done, we will have an updated full version ready to go of Raspberry Pi OS. And
by the way, sudo apt update is the command to update the URL repositories. Your operating systems has repositories. So whenever it wants to upgrade updates, then it go to that series of those URLs and catch any the updates. Another command, the second command that you usually do is sudo apt upgrade. Upgrade is actually for each of the programs packages installed on your operating systems. if it is updated at the remote server, then it should be correspondingly timely upgraded. So it'll be upgrade command. So first command is update and second command is upgrade. That's what we do pretty much all the time. Okay. So this is, I believe this is the end of the first lecture, and I will see you in the second session of this course later. Bye-bye.